10 minutes to the top of the hour. Thank you for sticking around for your tropical update. We are still talking about Kyle. Let's take a look at our satellite, and it's a little hard to find because it's not a very big tropical system. If you look where the word Florida is, it's the I dotting the state there. And boy, does it have a history. Take a look at why Kyle has survived just so long. How long has that been? Well, 20 days. Here's what's happened. We had an area of high pressure move right overhead. East winds continue to push it towards the west-southwest for some time. And then in the progress of its movement closer towards the U.S., we've had basically that high pressure system blocking the system, keeping it under some very warm waters, so it hasn't lost its fuel to continue to hold together. And boy, now we are finding Kyle very close to making landfall. Now, as I mentioned, it's been alive for 20 days. The longest lasting Atlantic tropical cyclone has been Ginger for 27. The next in line was Inga at 24. I'm not looking too optimistic as Kyle continues to move closer to land, so I don't anticipate on Kyle actually becoming number 2, but so far it's moved up the scale to number 3. Here's a look at its location. 75 miles just east of Jacksonville, Florida. Look at that messy path, just moved along the Atlantic basin. As I mentioned, it's been around for quite some time, and finally it's getting close towards the Florida coastline, close towards the Georgia coastline, maybe South Carolina. Well, I'll tell you what, it's going to continue to track just up the coastline, possibly skirt the southeast area of Georgia, maybe into South Carolina, but it's also a possibility as it continues to sit in these warm waters that it may re-strengthen back to a tropical storm. So because of that, we are looking at tropical storm warnings from Cape Fear, North Carolina to Brunswick, Georgia. Here's that path, as I mentioned, it's going to continue to move up towards the north and then possibly begin to push off towards the east. There's another area of low pressure, a cold front pushing through, and this one may actually steer it more towards the north-northeast, so we're going to keep an eye on this. But the main concern that we're going to see out of this is some higher surf, especially around the South Carolina beaches, 6 to 9 feet surge. So the waves may be a little higher, but it looks like it's mainly going to remain a rainmaker. Don't expect to see much in the forms of winds out of this system, except within some of these stronger rain bands where we see the heavier rain falling. Otherwise, it's pretty much going to be a low tropical system. Here's the rain moving to the northeast. We'll talk more about the rest of the U.S. right after this.
Evening Edition is sponsored by The Home Depot, driving down the cost of home improvement.
Guess who?
Hello?
Hello, Mr. Storm.
The dreaded telemarketer.
It's Strom.
Telemarketers got your number? Get the Telezapper, and soon those annoying calls will just about stop altogether. Available at stores everywhere.
Honey, are these clean?
Yeah, I just did them.
Time for a new appliance? It's the Home Depot Appliance Event. This weekend only, get no payments and no interest on appliance purchases till January 2004 with your Home Depot consumer credit card. Plus, get free delivery on appliances of $3.99 or more. The Appliance Event, going on now at the Home Depot and Expo Design Center.
30 shrimp for your 30th birthday.
I'm 29.
Mix and match 30 shrimp for $9.99. Now at Red Lobster.
Red Lobster, now featuring 30 out-of-this-world shrimp for only $9.99.
You know, I played a lot of parts in this business, but I've never played one yet that wasn't at least a little demanding. And as you know, I've got diabetes. So it's important that I stay on top of it, and I try. I check my blood sugar, and I check it often. And I get my testing supplies from Liberty Medical. You know, Medicare covers diabetes testing supplies, and Liberty makes it easy to get. They bill Medicare and your insurance company for you and deliver right to your door. No charge for shipping, no paperwork, and nothing to pay up front. So take charge, won't you? Check your blood sugar as often as your doctor says. And call Liberty. They can help you live a better life.
Call Liberty toll-free at 1-800-251-9604 for more information on home delivery of diabetes testing supplies. You'll have no paperwork.
Getting late in the hurricane season, but there's still plenty of activity to talk about.
Kim Perez has the latest in your tropical update.
And thanks, Cheryl. Thanks, Nick. And you know, it is pretty quiet in the eastern Atlantic, but we're still watching tropical storm. Yes, tropical storm Kyle here in the western Atlantic. I say eastern Pacific, eastern Atlantic. Now, this is the western Atlantic here. And just off the coast here of Savannah, we have our tropical storm. It's been upgraded. That was the 5 o'clock advisory this morning that upgraded it to a tropical storm. It's a minimal tropical storm, but we still could see seas of 8 to 9 feet, possibly up to 11 feet later on today. Now, we don't expect it to increase in intensity anytime soon. We'll keep it as a tropical storm. It's pretty close to land, so it's going to have a hard time intensifying. Pressure, 1,008 millibars. That's come down just a little bit. Hurricane hunters were in there this morning, or Air Force reconnaissance, and they found winds of about 40 miles per hour around the tropical storm. We do have tropical storm warnings up from Brunswick, Georgia, all the way up to Surf City, North Carolina. Now, we are expecting a lot of rainfall. We've already had 3 to 6 inches since yesterday in parts of the coastal areas here in South Carolina and Georgia. We actually have a flash flood warning out here around Savannah this morning. We could see several inches. Myrtle Beach, some showers now moving through, so just expect some bands of rain to come in throughout the day today. We're seeing possibly 3 to 5 more inches before this is all over with. Here's our tropical storm by this afternoon. It should start to make a turn towards the northeast later on tonight and tomorrow as the westerlies start to increase across the region. Here in the Gulf of Mexico, quiet, not much happening, very nice here. And the Caribbean, it's quiet as well. So that's it for the tropics. Of course, we'll keep you up to date what's happening with Kyle, but now for the latest elsewhere, here's Cheryl.
And as we take a look at the very active conditions across the country on this Friday morning, for one thing, we're watching a cold front diving in through Montana, and that will help to bring some abrupt changes to the weather with much colder air working across the Rockies and spilling out towards the Plain States later this weekend. We're also watching a low-pressure area drifting across the Gulf coastal region, spreading in some showers and storms, perhaps some locally heavy rain, and a large batch of rain, too, this morning from the mid-Atlantic surging towards the northeast. The rain fairly widespread from Columbia and Charleston, South Carolina, all the way back to Washington, D.C. More rains, too, coming in around New York City and around Boston. And again, with this, we may see some localized flooding because some of the rain could be heavy. Also, too, watching out for the possibility of a few strong thunderstorms across the southeast. Now, again, as we've been mentioning, much colder air will start to work into the picture. You'll start to feel the changes for the Plain States, where temperatures by tomorrow some 25 degrees below normal, and perhaps, too, later this weekend, maybe some snow to the north. And now let's check out that weekend with Nick.
I think we will see some wintry precipitation up toward North Dakota, back toward Montana, and look at all this area of winds here through the plains. Some morning fog, afternoon sunshine from the Ohio Valley southward, but that pesky rain continues right along the shoreline, but in some cases it is welcome rain. As you continue to see drought conditions throughout the east, showers of rain continuing on into the northeast, and look at those temperatures taking a dive toward the north. Cheryl?
Rain over the eastern third of the nation and an approaching tropical system. Major reasons to stick with First Outlook. Beginning at 6:01, we'll give you the timetable for rain from New York City to Atlanta. Some of you will have to make sure the kids keep the raincoats handy all day. Plus the latest in tropical storm warnings in the southeast because of Kyle. Some outdoor hikers and vacationers in California will have to change plans. At 6:20, we'll explain why. And at 6:50, step outside in space with a major construction project underway.
Well, you may need to take that coat with you around portions of the north today, but Minneapolis is looking a little bit better.
First Outlook is sponsored by Choice Hotels. Choice Hotels International invites you to experience the power of being there. Go.
Your pet's same exact heartworm and flea medications delivered to your home, saving you time and money.
It costs less than buying from my veterinarian.
It only takes a phone call.
I saved a visit to my vet's office. I didn't have to leave home.
Pet Meds delivers my pet's medication right to my door.
It's cheaper and more convenient than buying from my vet. I save time and money.
1-800-PET-MEDS. We deliver savings and convenience on HeartGuard, Advantage, Frontline, and all other pet medications. Call to order now or order online.
What's stopping you from getting my free computer learning lesson? Hi, I'm John Scher, CEO and founder of Video Professor. Millions of people have called to try my free computer lesson, but there are millions more who haven't. So let me answer some questions that I get asked every week by people just like you.
Is it really free?
Yes, it's really free. Just call that 800 number on your screen, and I'll send you a $60 lesson of your choice absolutely free. You choose from Windows, Word, Excel, Quicken, or any other title, and all you pay is a small shipping and handling.
So if it's really free, how do you stay in business?
Because I give people a free lesson. They try it, they see how simple and easy it is to learn with, they call us, they order more.
Is it really for anyone?
Absolutely. My lessons are designed to teach anyone.
In the meantime, if you're up at Myrtle Beach, some of this heavy rain is coming your way, and you're in a tornado watch area as well, so watch out for some severe weather and some heavy rain coming your way. But the winds, other than in some gusts and the thunderstorms, are not going to be too bad. The surf out ahead of the circulation is running about 6 to 8 feet, maybe a little bit higher well offshore, but not at the coast. Now, what do we expect over the next several days from it? Well, right now you can see the circulation right here, and you can see that most of the strong winds are well offshore. Behind it and over land, the winds are generally less than 10 miles per hour, fairly close to the circulation. Even in some of the thunderstorm action, we don't see the winds being that high right now. So we're not expecting this to come back as a significant tropical storm. However, we do see another interesting feature here. The circulation is way down here. We see a rather broad area of rain well away from the circulation up in here, and that's associated with this tropical air coming around the southeast side and merging with some northerly air that's air moving out of the north is fairly cool, almost a weak frontal boundary in there, producing some very heavy rain and some flash flood warnings in that area right now in central North Carolina. So watch out for rain there, but the good news is associated with that upper trough that's now pulling the system to the northeast, right behind that line you can see it clearing quickly, so we don't expect that heavy rain to linger very long. So right now, rainfall and wave action are our two primary elements of impact. And for the most part, the rain we expect to be relatively minor, some localized, very localized and very brief rain associated with it that could become flooding. Now, we have a low pressure center south of Cape Verde Islands way out here. We're monitoring this. It's actually a fairly well-defined low, about 25-mile-per-hour low pressure center. But it's long way from any land area, so we don't expect any significant impact from that. We'll be monitoring also this area right here in the southwestern Caribbean. That's the most favored area for tropical development in October. Of course, October is not a prominent area for development. Nevertheless, we'll monitor that area for tropical development. The Eastern Pacific is quiet, so let's get back to Bill.
So, Steve, again, one more question here regarding Kyle. It looks like it will emerge back over water, say, east of Hatteras or north of Hatteras. You're not too concerned about that strengthening up again, are you?
Well, right now it looks like, Bill, it's going to be tangled up with a developing low pressure center along that frontal boundary where the heavy rain is occurring. And as you see the circulation move offshore, we think it's going to become extratropical.
All right, Dr. Steve Lyons, thanks a lot again. Looks like either way, a rainy time ahead up the coast. Now for more with our Storm Watch, here again is Ryan.
Topping Storm Watch this hour, we still have the severe weather potential right along the coast, as Dr. Lyons was talking about. We do have a new severe thunderstorm warning now for central Berkeley County and southeastern sections of South Carolina. That goes until 12:45 local time, 12:45 Eastern Daylight Time. Could see winds with this particular cell as high as 60 miles an hour, very heavy downpours, and we also have a tornado watch to remind you about until 4 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time for eastern areas of North Carolina and eastern sections of South Carolina, mainly east of I-95. The potential of severe weather persists in this area throughout the rest of your day. Also, some strong thunderstorms. Now the question is far west as, say, Raleigh, extending back down along the Savannah River Valley and also in the southern sections of the state of Alabama. Heading northward, a very wet ride for you as you head into the mid-Atlantic and northeast along Interstate 95. Heavy rain now from Richmond back south on 85. Also now pushing back toward the Charlottesville area and to the nation's capital. Very wet lunch hour coming up. If you have plans to go out the next hour or so, allow allow some extra travel time, and also be sure you, of course, got the rain gear with you, and take a lot of patience with you if you're heading to the airports in the Northeast. Delays right now running close to 2 hours in some of the airports up around New York City and JFK, also for LaGuardia, as the showers continue to come down from Long Island, pushing back into southern Jersey, and also now into extreme eastern areas of the state of Pennsylvania. Coming up at your local forecast, followed by Weather Center at the top of the hour.
This program was brought to you by Chevy Trucks, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road.
Sorry about the dust.
Come on, guys, let's go.
After the new roomy 7-passenger Chevy Trailblazer, everything else just seems kind of weak.
I left the bagels in the jet.
The new Chevy Trailblazer, like a rock.
Why has the Dirt Devil Vision been the best-selling bagless upright over the last 5 years? It's powerful and easier to push and turn. But if you're looking for the ultimate bagless vacuum, check out the Platinum Vision from Dirt Devil. Only the Platinum Vision gives you all the features you want, plus a patented center dirt path that delivers more suction power than any other upright. For power you can see, get a Vision from Dirt Devil.
Hi, Billy Mays here for Orange Glow. Powerful cleaners that are healthy for the home. Orange Glow Wood Cleaner and Polish. It's made with pure orange oil. It cleans, it polishes, and it protects all at the same time. Use it on any type of wood. It makes old wood look like new. Wood dries out. Orange Glow nourishes the wood. It puts down an invisible barrier that protects your wood from water spots and stains without leaving a sticky residue. Before you reface or replace your kitchen cabinets, use Orange Glow. You do a lot of cooking. You get the grease, the splatter. It goes everywhere. Orange Glow cleans deep down the very first time. Watch this. Ordinary cleaners like this just don't cut the grease. Orange Glow is no...
For the Tropical Update, I'm Christina Abernathy. Let's take a look at the latest on Kyle. Here are the latest coordinates, which have it centered right near Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Maximum sustained winds 40 miles per hour, and it's moving to the northeast at 16 miles per hour. There's also a tornado watch in effect for parts of North Carolina. And with more on the situation, let's turn it over to our severe weather expert, Dr. Greg Forbes.
That tornado watch means conditions are still favorable for the isolated tornado formation in the eastern parts of North Carolina. Not probably as dangerous as it was earlier today. We have had 4 tornadoes reported. Here's the situation. The primary problem that has been causing the tornadoes has been likely the warm front or stationary front that extends across the area. The circulation associated with Kyle has weakened. There was one tornado in Georgetown, South Carolina, right near the circulation center. But now it's primarily this collision of air masses, winds coming in from the south, warm, unstable air versus the cooler air inland across this frontal zone. And some of the thunderstorms, when they get intense enough right on that frontal zone, are like a skater. They take what is a weaker rotation and pull it together into a tighter rotation that we call a tornado. So it's that area up around Hatteras, up to around Elizabeth City, down to New Bern, and over around the area east of Greenville and Washington, extreme eastern North Carolina, still having a problem. The problem seems to be decreasing. We're getting less and less lightning, less and less intense thunderstorms with the system now. The tornado watch is likely to expire, be allowed to expire a little over an hour from now. You'll see here 2 hours ago we had lots of very intense thunderstorms from Hatteras over to the areas east of I-95. The number of those is now generally decreasing. They're becoming a little bit more spotty. Where they're occurring, we still have rainfall rates up to 2 inches per hour, so you could still get very torrential local heavy rains, and a few of these thunderstorms coming toward the areas northeast of New Bern and up toward Elizabeth City still are right along that frontal zone. You could get a brief tornado spin up. We don't have any tornado warnings at this time. Some of the other rain bands are beginning to push now offshore east of Cape Hatteras. Where all the heavy rain is going, it's been over in the Raleigh area. Last evening it was down the northeast of Savannah, Georgia. Now it's pushing along that front up toward Elizabeth City, up toward the area around Virginia Beach. Some of it is falling across the Norfolk area, and there has been so much rain back around the Raleigh area that there's still flooding problems there, even though the rain has really let up. We'll take a look. We still have 2.5 inch per hour type rainfall rates falling in the area from around Elizabeth City to Virginia Beach. And these red areas mean that up to about 6 inches of accumulated, this is a radar estimate of where the accumulated rainfall is. Look at this big area here. This is northwest and north of the Raleigh-Durham area. Up to 8 inches have fallen in that area. That was headed for Richmond, but as that front has pushed somewhat to the east, the heavier rain has begun to shift off to the east as well. Part of the reason we're getting the eastward shift of this is that an upper air system is beginning to catch up to the remnants of Kyle. The green shadings here in the water vapor are those high thunderstorm tops, and you can see there that's about to be shunted off to the northeast as the south end of the jet stream begins to head into that. One problem we could have in the overnight hours, this very dry air coming in behind it will begin to work its way over, clear the skies over top of areas that are just have lots of rain laying on the ground. So many places this evening that had rain earlier today could get fog overnight tonight. Bad driving weather. Now for more on Kyle, let's go to Christina.
All right, thanks a lot, Dr. Forbes. And again, we're going to continue to keep an eye on this. Still seeing that wet weather, and remember that some of the rain could be heavy, and we do have some flood watches that are in effect from the Carolinas on up into parts of Pennsylvania and into New Jersey. So again, locally heavy rain, not at all out of the question. Here's the big picture around the country and the wet weather from the Carolinas up into the northeast. And we're also watching a front back to the west. Behind this, some pretty chilly weather. This front is going to be moving southward and eastward and ushering in some big changes for the rest of the country. We'll have more coming up.
Fighting pain's not the same after the Icy Hot Patch.
I'll put it on and the pain's gone.
The Icy Hot Patch's concentrated relief goes on Icy to dull the pain. Gets hot to relax it away for hours of relief.
It's still working.
The Icy Hot Patch. Pain has met its match.
Geico.
Next, please.
Well, hello.
Oh, great. A talking gecko.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Works like magic.
Bleaching action whitens teeth like no toothpaste. Plus White's Whitener Gel bleaches away stains to whiten teeth. Plus White 5-minute whitener gel.
What's stopping you from getting my free computer learning lesson? Hi, I'm John Scher, CEO and founder of Video Professor. Millions of people have called to try my free computer lesson, but there are millions more who haven't. So let me answer some questions that I get asked every week by people just like you.
Is it really free?
Yes, it's really free. Just call that 800 number on your screen, and I'll send you a $60 lesson of your choice absolutely free. You choose from Windows, Word, Excel, Quicken, or any other title, and all you pay is a small shipping and handling.
So if it's really free, how do you stay in business?
Because I give people a free lesson. They try it, they see how simple and easy it is to learn with, they call us, they order more.
Is it really for anyone?
Absolutely. My lessons are designed to teach